Okay, good. Something worked. It's a Christmas miracle, like literally. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Amy. If you are new here, thank you for joining me. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today I'm going to do a little get ready with me. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I have a few new things that I want to try. I went to Sephora yesterday and I picked up the Beetlejuice recently deceased palette. This is the purple and green one. And I was totally on the fence about whether or not I wanted to purchase this or not. And I also like the waiting room one, but I don't really need red and gray eyeshadows, and so I passed on that one for now. But we'll see. If I really like this, I may go back and get that. I also picked up the relatively new Huda Beauty foundation, the stick foundation, and I got the shade Shortbread 200B, and they did match me in the store. So hopefully this will be a good shade for me. I did the best I could as far as like trying it on around my mask and stuff, but you know how that goes. And I also picked up one of the Melt Stargazer. Um, is that what these are called? Nope, these are the digital dust highlighters. And I got the color Stargazer. I don't know. I swatched this when I got home and it seemed a little timid. Is that a good word for it? It's not that it's not pretty, because it is pretty, but it seemed a little bit less than, I don't know, less than I wanted, but we'll see. Well, I just did it on the back of my hand, not on my face, and so we shall see how that goes. I also picked up a couple of the new, or new to me, I think these are pretty new, the Dazzle sticks from KVB Beauty, and I got the shades Thundercloud and Force Field. So I got the silver one and the sort of pinky gold one, I think this is. And I did swatch these on the back of my hand. They were really pretty. So I definitely would like to try those, but we'll see how it goes with the melt palette and whether or not I feel like I can work either of those into the look that I'm going to do today. I don't think I do. I don't think I have anything else new. So I am going to scoot in and we are going to get started. Okay, I've got my eyes primed. I just used my Eden from Urban Decay eye primer, and I'm sure that everybody here has seen this palette, but this is what she looks like. I do love the sort of neon green packaging of this, and you know, we're gonna see if it's worth the hype, worth the you know waiting, because I kind of waited to get this. I think I am going to. I have kind of a like a green little sweater thing on today, so I think I'm gonna go in first with Draw a Door, which is this one right here. And I'll probably just name the colors from now on as opposed to holding it up, just because I am a little zoomed in. And we are going to just dive right in and we're going to see what this bad boy is like. I have not decided if I want to do an all green look or if I want to work some of the purple into it. I may, just because there's not like a dark matte like acidy green in here. And again, I am going to do one eye and then go finish the other eye off camera, and then I'll come back and we'll do some of the face products. So that's a nice, I like that color quite a bit. I'm going to take a little bit smaller brush and I'm going to take that same color and we're just going to build that up in the sort of the upper crease just a little bit. So I'm not having any trouble blending. That's pretty cool. I like that. Blend those edges out a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and go into the color Beetlejuice, which is the other matte sort of acidy green, and I'm just going to put that in my crease as well, just to see like how different they are, or if they're different. So I think that they are a fair amount different. Right next to each other, it's a little difficult to tell. I'm going to take this little sort of pointed crease brush, and I'm going to go into the darkest matte purple, which is called Lost Souls, and we're going to put that on the outer corner here, and we're going to see what she looks like. Now, I don't know, blending purple and green together can be a little on the disastrous side, so I'm going to be pretty careful here. So that's not too bad for a purple. It's not like totally blowing my socks off, I guess. It's a little difficult to build, and that's almost always the case, at least so far that I found, is building up purples can be really, I don't know, kind of a challenge. But we're going to go with it because that's what I got on my eyeballs now. So I'm just going to take that little guy again and blend right where those two meet. And if it turns a little like brownish, that's actually okay with me. Now my decision is which shimmer to put on my lid. So there are two green shimmers in this palette. There is Paranormal and Neurotic. So this one is Paranormal and this one is Neurotic. So obviously a really dark green, and again one of those sort of acidy greens, only in a metallic. I'm going to take the color Paranormal, which is the dark green one, and I think I'm going to work with that one today. And then maybe I'll take a little bit of Neurotic and put it on my a little bit of Neurotic and put that on my inner corner and kind of see how that looks. Shall we do that? Let's do that. I think I am going to put a little bit of glitter glue on, just because I want this to be nice and intense and stick well to my eye. And I'm really just putting it basically where I didn't have anything, and then just gently tapping over where those colors kind of meet. She's pretty, that's for sure. That is a really nice color. It's very intense compared to that purple shade. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that. And I don't know if you can see this, but that's looking a little patchy. Now that may be because I was blending it with that green. I'm not really sure. I feel like purple shadows are one of those things that people want to work so bad, and they just almost, and at least in my opinion, they almost always disappoint. All right, I'm going to take that little guy, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the shade Paranormal just on like a dry brush, just so I can sort of soften this up a little bit. No, I don't like the way that looks, that purple in that corner. For some reason, there's just something about that it's not ringing my bell, guys. I'm gonna take a little tiny. Normally, I don't put a shimmer in the outer corner or anything, but I'm gonna take the color Recently Deceased, which is the darkest shimmer color. I'm gonna put that over this and see if that is any better slash different? No, I don't think it is. Well, I could try wetting my brush. That's usually kind of a no-no when it comes to matte colors, but I don't know. The way this is going, I'm gonna give it a try because so far it's not really ringing my bell here. So I feel like that did make a little bit of difference. It's still not ideal. I'm not entirely certain that I could tell you why. It just looks a little it's not even so much that it's patchy exactly. It's just not building the way I want it to. It's also not really moving the way I want it to. I don't know, that outer corner is kind of a mess. Well, sometimes that happens, you know, but in for a penny and in for a pound, as they say. Quite a bit of fallout from that purple shade. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and finish cleaning this up a little bit, and then I will like put on liner and stuff. We'll kind of see how that, because sometimes that really helps. I mean, especially if you do like a winged liner and you put on some pretty dramatic lashes or something like that, it can kind of disguise the fact that something went a little sideways in your look. I mean, I love this dark green. That's really beautiful. And it's not that I don't like the purple shade. It's not really that. It's just that it's not, I don't know. There's just, what do you think? I'm just kind of going around these edges a little bit softly just to kind of blend those together, but at this point I'm not sure I see the point. Take a little bit of that dark green and just kind of bring that out here. Okay, I'm not loving that. Not loving it. Gonna be honest here. But I like those acid greens, the mattes, and I'm really happy that they made both of those colors mattes as opposed to making a bunch more shimmers. There's plenty of shimmers. There's 4 mattes, 4 shimmers. All right, so I am gonna go see what I can do with this mess, and I will come back and we will do the face products. And yeah, okay, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I am back, and I did my other eye. Thank God for wing liner because it hides a myriad of sins. Yes, it does. I did have a little bit better luck using that same small pencil brush that I had dampened. I did not re-dampen it, but I had a little bit better luck putting that purple on the outer corner, although it's not perfect. So, you know, I'm gonna continue to play with this palette and see what else I can come up with, maybe do a second look, so be watching for that on my channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into the face, and we're gonna try out the Huda Beauty foundation stick. This is, I think I mentioned, this is in the shade Shortbread, and I have no idea how much to use or anything, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, put some on and we'll see. We'll do a few little stripes here. Better to go in easy and you know, add more if I need to. So I'm just gonna blend this out with a brush. I don't know, I have a feeling that this is one of those ones that they tell you to use your fingertips. I never do that, so I'm not going to do it today. And if I feel like I need to, I will go ahead and pat this out with a sponge, a damp sponge, which I have here on my desk. And I think that this is not supposed to be like a super full coverage foundation. I know our other one is, but I pretty much was sure that I would not like that, so I've never picked that one up. So I'm just picking this up on my brush now as opposed to putting it right on my face, just to see how that does. Well, the color's good, I think, so that makes me happy. I'm just gonna try to build this up a little bit in the places that I like a little bit more coverage, which tends to be on the sides of my face as opposed to in the center of my face. So that's pretty. It's got a little bit of a glow, but not too much. Bring it up a little bit under my eyes, not too much, because I do think I'll put on a little concealer just to see how it blends with that. Let's have a little bit closer look here. All right, so what I'm seeing along my jawline anyway in my close-up mirror is a little bit of pilling, so I don't like that at all, although I'm not seeing it anywhere else. So we're going to leave the coverage as is. I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to like press that in, bounce that along my jawline, since that seems to be where I'm getting the pilling. I'm not sure why. I have skincare on and I have the Tatcha Dewy Skin moisturizer on over my skincare, and that's not like a thing that usually pills it all. Maybe I just got a little too much. I'm not sure. Okay, it's kind of doing it all over now. I'm just going to kind of press that in with my fingers. No, I don't usually like to use my fingers that much. I mean, your fingers are tiny and your face is not, and so I can see where that would be kind of problematic, but I'm just kind of pressing. I'm not rubbing. So like in the camera, in my monitor and stuff, where I'm kind of looking to see what I think you guys might be seeing, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing any kind of pilling or anything like that, but when I look close up, I definitely do see it. I don't know, maybe it's I am using a new like serum. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's pilling something awful. Let me see if I can get up and show you a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Hopefully you will be able to see that. All right, so what am I going to do about that? We're going to wipe some of that off. Wow. That's not good. That's not good. So I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to powder a little bit, because this is quite a like I can feel it. It feels very sort of dewy on my skin. That may be the moisturizer I have on underneath. It may be the foundation. I'm not really sure. That's not something unusual for me to put that particular moisturizer on my skin. But I don't know. I'm perplexed. Before I get off into the sides of my face, let me put on a little bit of concealer. I'm going to go ahead and set that with my NARS crystal powder, which is the thing that I always use. Let us continue with the powdering, and I'm not using a ton of powder, but I'm going to see if I can't like set that down and kind of almost like dust away the little pills. I don't know. I think that might have helped. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try this foundation with like some different stuff underneath, I think. I mean, it looks pretty, except for that. And nobody likes like the pill. I can only imagine if you put on a like a pore filling primer or something under this, what this would do. I don't use those typically, but that just seems like that would be a really hot mess. Okay. Well, I don't know. Sometimes things are a fail, right? All right. So for my bronzer, I'm just going to go in with my Milani bronzer. This is the shade number 2 and the Silky Matte bronzer. And I'm going to spend too much time doing this and put a little blush on, and then we'll come back and I'll put that melt highlighter on, and maybe that will work for me. All right, let's give the melt highlighter a try. I'm going to start out with the Morphe M500, which is kind of a long, fluffy brush, and we're going to see what this does, and if I need to, I will pick something a little more dense. That's pretty. I like that a lot more than I thought I would. I'm going to switch to a little bit more of a dense brush, and we're just going to see, like, you know, if there's any difference. Yeah, so you do get a little bit more if you use a little bit more of a dense brush. This is the Milani all over blending brush, which is a really nice highlighter brush. And you could always go in with a brush like this and then take a brush like this and just sort of go over it a little bit just to soften the edges, you know, so you don't have that sort of stripe thing going on. So that's pretty. That's very, this is way more dramatic than I thought it would be. Okay, good. Something worked. It's a Christmas miracle, like literally. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the recently deceased palette. I'm going to take a little pencil brush, and because I'm an idiot, I'm going to go back into Lost Souls, which is that purple, and we're going to see what that does on my lower lash line. And let's hope for the best, shall we? Okay, I am not having any trouble, I don't think, with this. So what was I doing wrong on the upper upper eye area? I don't know. Maybe it's the brush I was using. That could certainly be. But it seems to be going on nicely and blending nicely. Now, of course, your lower lash line is different than your outer corner, usually, as far as what you like the opacity that you expect. But I want this kind of nice and blown out. And I'm just kind of going over my liner and trying to keep a rounded look, but with that wing going through it, which is, you know, a dubious design choice. So I'm going to take a little flat shader brush, and I'm just going to try to intensify that a little bit. This is better, but it is still kind of doing a little bit of a patchy thing. Now, I don't know if that would be something that anybody but me would notice. Well, it's a really pretty purple. I mean, it's very dramatic, and so, gosh, I like that. I'm going to go into that color Neurotic, and we're going to put that on the inner corner. Ooh. I'm just going to sort of sketch it up into my upper, above my eye here. That's pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the NYX Epic Wear liner, and this is in the shade Emerald Cut. I was gonna go in with ColourPop Electric Daisy, but which is a much sort of lighter, more bright green. But it's one of their sort of dry ones, and it's like I was just trying to put it on the back of my hand, and it kept breaking, and so I'm like, fuck that. I don't have time for that. I think maybe I rescued this look at least a little bit. The highlighter is really pretty, so I do like that. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, and I will come back, give you a few final thoughts on the recently deceased palette, the Huda Beauty Foundation Stick, the highlighter. I think that was everything that was new today. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've got my lashes on and lips and stuff like that. I'll list everything down below that I can. All right, let's go ahead and start with the palette. This is pretty. I mean, it is pretty. There's no doubt about it. I love the green and purple color story of this palette. I love the two matte greens. I like the two shimmer greens. I did not use any of the purples in this palette. Let me go ahead and swatch the three purples that I did not use for you. So that's them on my fingers, and they seem nice. There's nothing wrong with them as far as I can tell. So those are real pretty. I'm a little disappointed. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed in that purple shade, mostly because it just didn't want to build. It didn't want to layer, and that's often the case with purple shades. Blues are kind of like that too, especially the darker ones. Something about the pigments that they have to use, I think, for those kinds of shades make them difficult to layer and build. I don't really have anything like this in my collection. I am gonna play with it, and as I was taking some pictures and stuff, I was thinking I wish I would have put the dark green on the outside and the purple on the inside, because I think that would have gone better. Even though the dark green is a shimmer shade, I still think that it would have gone better. It would have looked better in the end. I mean, I like the way my eyes look today. I think they're quite dramatic and everything. So I'm not mad about it or anything like that. And I didn't have any trouble blending that purple on the bottom really, although it kind of wanted to do the same thing, like not layer quite like I'd like it to. I can't quite put my finger on it. But this was not, this is, I think, a limited edition palette. So, if you're curious, I'm not going to say don't get it, but be prepared. Be prepared to possibly be returning it because you feel like me about some of the shades in this, especially that purple shade. If that's the color, if that's the only color that you're like super drawn to, then I would say don't bother with this palette, because you can get all of these shades in other palettes, and if you're a collector like I am, you probably already have some of these shades. I was more interested in the greens than the purples, and so that was the thing that really like got me to buy this palette. I have a certain amount, I guess, of nostalgia for the movie Beetlejuice. I've only seen it once or twice in my life, and it's kind of a fun flick, but I definitely didn't buy it for that. I don't know. I don't know what to say, guys. I can't really say yes, absolutely, definitely go out and buy this palette or the other one either, because obviously I haven't tried the Waiting Room palette. But I was curious enough, and I had sort of made myself wait as opposed to like picking this up on launch date and all that, because I just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I wanted to see a few reviews, and I have seen a few. I'm going to go back and watch a few more, I think, just to kind of see what other people think about this and see if they do something different to make that purple a little bit more friendly And we'll see. I think I'll go ahead and do another look with this palette. The artwork, of course, is really cool. It's really quite stunning, and I don't know. It fits the movie, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and talk about the highlight real quick. So this is the Digital Dust highlight from Milk Cosmetics, and this is the shade Stargazer. And I quite like the way that it looks. I'm not mad that I purchased this. Um, Again, I would suggest going in with, I think personally, the fluffy brush was enough for me. But if you like something a little more intense, or you want something more focused that gets sort of diffused out, then definitely consider going in with a little bit more of a dense brush on the side, and then sort of buffing it out, blending it out with a bigger, fluffier brush. That seemed to work pretty well. So I will definitely be keeping that, and I'm sure that I will continue to wear that. For the foundation, boy, I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to try this again. I would say that this has a medium coverage, at least as far as the amount that I put on. I am not happy about the pilling that I experienced, but I will try this with a little bit different techniques and maybe something different underneath, not the Tatcha's. Although I can't think why the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream would make something like this pill. I do like the feel of this. It's quite a creamy foundation. So I did set this. I did set this with my Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Powder, and it didn't seem to have any problem blending with the concealer that I used. But that pilling, I don't know. It's been a really long time since I picked up a foundation that did that on me. My jury is out on this one too. I will probably do this again, use this again, and either let you know in a future video, you know, what I thought of it, or I'll come back and revisit it in a foundations video review kind of thing that I hoped. I've been saying this for like 3 months that I'm gonna do like a foundations review video, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna try to get it done before the year's end, because I have tried a lot of new foundations this year, and some of them were fabulous and some of them were crap. And this one it's sitting right on the fence, and I have not decided. I'm going to play with it some more, see what I think. The color was great, as far as I can tell. The coverage is nice. If you like a really full coverage, if you've got a lot that you want to cover, I wouldn't bother with this. If you are particularly oily, I probably wouldn't go for this, just because it is quite a creamy consistency. If you're drier, this might be a really nice choice for you, especially if you don't like a lot of foundation. I can see using a brush and just dabbing it on here and just sort of strategically putting it, assuming that you have a really good shade match. But yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm not gonna tell you one way or the other quite yet on this guy, but those are just a few of the things that I noted. I will put the price for these new things down below as well, because I can't remember what they cost, but it was Huda, and so I'm gonna guess it was probably in the $35 range. That's a guess. I did want to mention my earrings, because I did show off these earrings and a bunch of others in a Nordstrom Rack earring haul that will be up before this video, so I will be sure and link that above so that you can go check it out if you're interested to see what I picked up the other day at Nordstrom Rack. I think that's going to do it for this video today, guys. Thanks so much for getting ready with me if you played along, or just watching if you just watched. And don't forget to like and subscribe and ring that bell so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. And until my next video, bye guys.